And live transcript. And I can turn it off apparently for myself. So let's see, hide subtitle. Can people who have it turned on still see the subtitle? Good. Okay. At least it won't be in my face anymore. Good. So my mouth feels better. I had a trip to the dentist, which was terrifying, of course, in this era of COVID, but the dentist did a real good job of isolating people. And, they themselves are at more risk than the patient, I suppose, because they're wearing masks. Anyway, uh, it was quite a day on Tuesday. Thank you for indulging me in a canceling class. But here we are. What I'd like to do is I'd like to welcome anybody from the morning class who's here. And let's do our usual. How about anything in Python to review? So that's the general review. But also, we can go through chapter 7 questions and chapter 8 questions. Go ahead. Lay them on me.
When you're
wait, was someone going? I guess not, but I got a couple chapter 7 challenges that I could not get. One was 7.3.2, which I got one test pass, but not all.
Okay, 7.3. And then challenge number 2. I guess it's that one.
Yes.
Okay, assign decoded tweet with something that's modified. So that, replacing any occurrence of TTYL with talk to you later. Okay. So what it sounds like they're looking for is for you to use the string method, for replacing. So let's take a look at replace. All right, and the idea behind replace is that it will search through the string for an occurrence of the first parameter, replacing it with an instance of the second parameter. And it does that once. Okay. Now, what would be worth looking at is what the return value of replace is. Because that could help us know in advance how many times we have to run the replacing. Now, we could use count with an insanely high number. We could, I suppose. But let's go to replit. Okay, so that works. And replit, let's try something. Log in. All right. All right, so let's do a test. I'll go here and I'll make a new file. Now, why it's called ATR, I have no idea. I thought I was typing STR. Okay, so S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And let's see what replace returns. So S dot replace, and I want to replace 1 with uno, and then print S. Okay, let's try that. So Python atr.py. And boy, it didn't seem to change anything. Huh. Maybe we need to put in, capture the output of replace. So let's print T. Aha, okay. So you have to capture the output of replace into a variable. But notice it, it replaced all of the instances of uno, 1 to uno. Okay, I wasn't expecting that, but that's nice. Thank you. Let's go back to the challenge. And your solution goes here. So user tweet. Let me make it bigger for you. And replace TTYL with talk to you later. And let's see if we get this right. Test aborted. What did I do wrong? Oh, I have mismatching parentheses. Sorry, mismatching quotes. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, was there, where in this one were you getting stopped?
I think I just didn't know what replace was because here, you know what? Let me go back to see what I did last time for how I got the first pass.
Mm-hmm.
Your last submission. Oh, it's not letting me see it because I typed what you typed.
Oops. Okay, does this answer the question for you?
Yes. I think
All right.
maybe I tried typing an if else thing, but I might be wrong.
Okay. Well, this chapter is on string methods. So replace is built into every string. Okay. Do you have other questions from the book? Anybody?
Actually, I had one more.
Great. What is it?
7.4.2, which unlike the last one, I couldn't figure out.
7.4.2. Okay. Assign number segments with phone numbers split by hyphens. Okay, so there must be a function probably called split, which will operate on a string, and it will also allow you to specify what the delimiter is. So I'm going to search on the word split. Let's find it in the book. Oh, here it is. Okay.
By the way, are you using Spotlight Search when you do that?
No, I'm just zooming in and out on the trackpad.
No, I mean when you search for the word.
No, I'm using Control F or Command F while in the browser.
All right.
Okay. All right. So once again, let's try out things in Replit. So what if I did split, and I split it based upon spaces. Oh, come on, give me just one. All right, so what I'm hoping I get is that T will be a list, and it will contain 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 on their own. All right, let's try it. There you go. So split allows you to specify the delimiter. Let's do something crazy. Let's use E as the delimiter. That's going to produce something screwed up, but hey, well, let's just try it. Okay, so there's ON. The E is swallowed. Both E's are swallowed here. So there's the output of the next next instance. Notice that spaces are preserved because I told it to use E as the delimiter. Okay, so, oh, I know. Let's say we're working with comma separated values. Just like, so this is a CSV. I'll specify a comma as the separator. And look at that. So going back to Replit, going back to Zybooks, assign num segments with phone numbers split by the hyphens. So that would be the phone number dot split using the hyphens. And let's try it. There you go. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, I had the same idea when doing this. I just didn't put split down.
Weird.
Okay, so well, as sort of like a little cheat, they're going to ask you things that are described on this page. So when you get stumped by a challenge, read through the page again.
With phone number split by the hyphens.
And up on this page is split.
Got it.
Tell the truth, are you going straight to the challenges? Not reading?
No, I do all the participations first, and maybe I'll do the challenges in between. But if I get stuck on one, then I'll skip it and then come back to it after I finish all of them.
Okie doke. Okay, other questions? Happy to do anything in chapter 7 and chapter 8. Let's take a peek at what's in chapter 8. Lists and dictionaries. Should be experts at that, I hope. Don't do 8.8. Makes your brain hurt. We 2 classes ago, counting the class that we missed, we did, no, actually it's longer ago than that because that was the week of the midterm. We did command line arguments. Let's just refresh our memory there. So you will import sys, and then sys.argv is a list of command line arguments. So let's just do a quick little review there. I don't mind that at all. So import sys. And now print the length of sys.argv and also print the value of sys.argv as well. Let's just do that. And Python. So notice my command line has no options, no arguments past the name of the file. So the only thing in argv is the name of the program being run. So here's one argument. And then I'm going to do quotes here.
Died on a holdout on level 9.
So what game?
I don't know.
What game is that? Max, are you playing a game? Maximus? I heard somebody stuck on level 9.
Yeah, that was me.
Every day.
Okay, now level 9 is not in this book, is it?
Oh, that's correct.
Okay, because if it was, I could help you with it. All right, so let's go back to classwork. All right, so argv is, notice that argv sub 0 always exists. And then if you specify other things on the command line, they will come after the name of the program. If you want to put in spaces, you have to wrap double quotes. So that's argument 1, argument after another is together in one group. Okay, so that's in chapter 8. What else is fun in chapter 8? Lists and dictionaries. The list methods, we should be expert at this now. List games, that sounds like fun. What's that? Oh, it's just playing with lists. That's no fun. Anybody have any questions about chapter 8? Ignoring list comprehension. Okay, so the reason why I ignore list comprehensions, the purpose of list comprehensions is to provide a concise way of writing code that will affect all the members of a list. The reason why I skip it is it's got a very different syntax from the rest of Python. Okay, questions about dictionaries? What's the difference between a dictionary and a set? Tick tock, tick tock. Come on, right away. What's the difference?
Dictionary is a collection of keys and values. A set is just values.
Just keys.
Just keys. Never mind.
Good, good. You got it. Okay. So any other questions about chapter 8?
I suppose just for clarification, we don't need to necessarily understand the list comprehensions, yes?
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So when I pull the report for your performance of chapter 8, I will, instead of just saying, give me the whole chapter, I'll collect data for the sub-chapters excluding 8.10. So 8.10 will not be graded. Nope, sorry, 8.8. 8.10 will be graded. 8.8 is list comprehension, sorry.
And then one other question, the sys.argv, the reason that you would put an argument in that line would be like for the flashcards when you put in another file?
Right, so the reason why functions have parameters is that, and arguments, is that you can then customize the function. You could use it over and over again with different data. So the same idea with sys.argv is you can customize the program entirely by giving it different data from the command line. Maybe we should take a look a little bit more at Replit. How about this? So if the length of sys.argv is less than 2, print no arguments. Else, print the first argument is sys.argv sub 1. Okay, so where am I? Oh, I have a parenthesis in the wrong place. There. Okay, so no arguments, and now let's customize the program. So maybe I want it to run in Japanese. I can't spell today. Or maybe in, okay. So you see how I might be customizing the operation of the whole program just by changing what I type in on the command line, not, most importantly, not by changing code. Okay, questions? Chapter 7, 8, or any chapter we've done so far.
When you have like the text file thing, um how do you make it print without the /n all the time?
Okay, I'm not sure I follow the question. So you want to open a file? Is that right?
It's fine, never mind.
Okay.
Was it how to make it print without the new line?
Yeah, that new
Imaging?
line character thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can do this. N equals nothing. And I'll put that in here also. N equals nothing. And then finally, I will print okay, let's try that. Okay, does that help, Michael? Is this what you were after?
It's fine. I'll ask the tutor. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Let's review how to read in a CSV file. Import what?
CSV.
Good, thank you. And let's make it a good-looking program. It's okay to review this as many times as necessary. So a good-looking Python program would have this. If the name is equal to dunder main, dunder, then run this program and we'll just call, we'll call something called main. All right. And now we define main. And that's just a placeholder so that if I were to run this right now, it would work. And let's see, I also want to import, oh yeah, import sys And here or here, I want to make sure I get a file name. So how about this? If the length of sys.argv is less than 2, print, please specify a file. And then else, we have a file name. So how's this so far? Any questions? Let's see what this does. So Python atr.py, and it says, I did it again. Okay, there you go. Move that parenthesis. Okay, so please specify a file because argv's length is 1. So let me give it a file name. What kind of files we got here? CSV files. How about stu data? No, how about test? Here's what's in test. Notice that there's column headings and then data. Very often, CSV files will have the name of the column in the first row. So how about, I'll just make it a little easier. How about F name, L name, how about height, favorite color, and weight. Okay. So this is my data, and these are the values. I suppose I should put in some more appropriate values. And you can do that. I hope you're doing this at home too. 73 inches. Okay. So very, very often CSV files will have the name of the columns as the first row. Okay, so everybody's got test.csv? All right, we can go back to our program. What was the name of our program? I don't remember. Anybody remember? Oh, ATR. Yeah, that's what we were doing. All right. So width, how do I do an open for reading? What's the syntax? Come on, you can do it.
Is it with open?
Yeah, and what's the rest? That I want to open a file given by that's in sys.argv. So what do I put in the rest? The name.
Sys.argv and then the brackets 1.
Perfect. As F colon, and to use it as a CSV file, what do I do? So now I've opened the file, but it's an ordinary text file, open for reading. I need to wrap it with a CSV reader. So how about the reader is equal to CSV. Here's the CSV reader, and I'm wrapping the file with it. And for a row in the reader, print the row. And we can get rid of that. All right. So let me try ATR with, what did I have it? Test.csv? Yeah. Okay. Now, because we're writing a good looking program, we want to prevent this. Okay, we don't want that. So what's my approach? How do I get rid of, do that error checking and get rid of that crash?
Use and accept.
Okay, try and accept. All right, so try, and then this has to be indented. And then accept. What are we going to catch? The file, not, I'm just reading way down here. So the file not found error. And I'll just print out a message. Okay, good. And maybe I should return. Try that again. That's interesting. I bet if I try to save this and run it again, yeah, there it is. There's the complete. Okay. Now,
What would happen if you didn't put the return in?
if I did not put the return into this code presently, the same result would happen. It wouldn't matter. But the reason I did put the return in is so that if I wanted to, I could put more code here. So that the try was only watching for the file not found error. So if line 13, or if I have no need of any more code, then I wouldn't have needed the return. So I'll leave it that way. Okay, so for review, we opened up a CSV file. We opened up a file. We checked to make sure that the file really did open, and we handled the error in case it didn't. Then we wrapped the file into a CSV reader, and we read the whole file. Now, it turns out that this whole file has a set of, the first row has a set of column names. Now, what if we wanted to skip that first row? We don't want to use the column names. We could say, we could eat one row by saying next reader. Let's try that. Okay, maybe not that. Next. Doesn't take parentheses, does it? Oh, I guess it does. Sorry. So you can use next to skip a line. So here, I know I've got headers in the first row, so I skip the first row. That's new. But what if you want to take advantage of the column names? So that, for instance, if you wanted weight, you wouldn't have to remember that weight is column 0, column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, weight is column 4. Well, I've got the column name there. Wouldn't it be great if I could just say, give me the value for weight out of this line? Makes sense, right? So I'd like to show you a new way of reading from CSV. a way that you can use if your file has column names as the first row. And that would be, instead of a CSV reader, you instead used a dict reader. Okay. Now check this out. Make sure you don't blink. So by changing it from reader to dict reader with some capitalization, and make sure I did the capitalization right, but we'll do that in a minute. Without that, without a dict reader, I just got a list for a row. But let's try this again. And instead of getting a list, I got a dictionary. And you know what you can do with dictionaries, right? And it doesn't include shoving them. So how about print row? I said I want to be able to pick out the columns that I want. So how about I pick out WEI, I spelled it wrong. So now I don't have to remember or figure out which column is which. So let's print that. Look at that. So if your CSV file has the column names as the first row, you could leverage that. Another benefit, well, the first benefit is you don't then have to remember which column is which by number. Which one is column 0? Which one is column 1? I don't know. Now I don't need to know that. But the second benefit is if the data, let's go back to the data. If the data changes, so how about this? I'll do fave band. Band. Okay, I just changed the data and I put in band name. Oh, I don't know. The Bitter Dregs. My favorite band. Actually, it's not. It was a band that was fueled by alcohol and other things when I was a freshman in college. So that was the people on my hall. We made a band. I played the hand clap and made sure everybody's cup was full. You got to remember the drinking age was different when I was a freshman in college. Would you believe that every dorm had its own bar in the basement? Yep, it would be quarter shots, 7 days a week. Not that I'm condoning or encouraging alcohol consumption. I'm just telling you about my life experience, my lived experience. Okay, so there's my band name. Getting back to the point is, if I was searching for weight at position 4, it's not position 4 anymore. But if I go by column name, this program will still work. See? So that's another benefit of using a dict reader instead of a reader. But dict reader only works when your first row has column names. Okay, anybody have any questions? All right, how about this? Okay, so here's a column name. And does that work? Nope. So what can we do?
Add and accept.
Perfect, good. Now let's learn a little bit more about accept. So accept, and what will it be? It'll be key error. print caught a key error. Now, which one was it? Which key? I don't know. This, in general, I don't know. I mean, here, of course, I'm only using one, so I could say, okay, favorite banana is not a valid key. But I want to write it more general purpose than that. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, caught a key error, but which key caused the problem? So a little bit more about exception is, let's add that as exception. Okay, so the key error is going to create a variable called EX, and I wonder what's in that variable. Let me find out. I'll just print a dir. I want to keep reminding you that this thing exists. If you want to know what is in an EX as a result of catching an error, well, all right, let me print EX, a dir of EX, and that will remind me of what's in it. Okay, so apparently there's an .args. So let's put that in. That seems to be the only thing. And then I'll print ex.args. All right. Look at that. So what was the key that caused the error? It was favorite banana. Okay. So now I've got this general purpose way of finding out the cause of an error. So this word as here, as a variable name, so the key error is going to be given to you, the details of it is as EX. It's the same thing as this. The file, the open file is given to you as F. Okay, so I'll put this in back to wait. Okay, so the goal here is to get really good at using CSV files because CSV files are the most common way of transferring data between different programs, whether it is Excel or any other program that you might use in your field. Chances are you'll run into CSV files. Let me just mention that using the dict reader is a little bit slower than using the column numbers. So if you were processing billions of lines, it might make a difference. But something like this, forget about it. The convenience of being able to refer to columns by their column name is pretty large. Except, of course, if you have, see, this one doesn't have any, well, just imagine, I've seen data files where the name of the column was 90 characters long, and frankly, that's a pain of its own. Okay. So let's go back to stew data. And everybody's got stew data. Okay, we downloaded it in a different class. Tell you what, why don't we add in Replit, let's add column names so that we could use column names if we want. So ID number, last name, first name, gender, which of course is an oversimplification, email, cohort, credits, GPA, major. That looked right to me. I'll give you time to write that. Okay. Let's quick modify our test program to make use of stew data. Because right now, if I ran the test program, it understands CSV files, but it won't have the right column. So stewdata.csv, and it doesn't have a column called weight. So let's go back to our test program, ATR in my case. And let me modify it a little bit. So here's what I want you to, I'm going to put in a pass here. And I want you to write the following program, although you don't know how. So we'll do it together. So take a major code from argv. And of course, you've already got the take a file name from argv. And then I want you to write write a new CSV file. Uh-oh, that's more new knowledge. With lines that match the major code only. And let's take a file name from, no, we're not going to take a file name. Yeah, we'll take a file name. For input, and take a file name from argv for output. So the way to run this program, it's going to look like this. Python, prog name, and then it's going to be stewdata.csv. But that's our input. And then we'll give it, let's say, like an example of output.csv and a major of computer science. So that's an example. So I want to process the stew data file, which has 3,000, and I want to write out a subset of it, only those people who are computer science majors. Sound good? Okay. So step one, ensure the command line looks right. Okay, and that is, for example, here. So what should I change this line to read? So how, if I ran this properly, it would be Python, in my case, atr.py, and then it would be stewdata.csv, output.csv, and CSC. So how many, if I'm missing any of those arguments, I want to not run the program. So how should I change my line 23? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it has any less than 4, the command line isn't correct. And let me adjust the message. The usage, and I'll print a new line, is Python. Oh, what the heck? Why don't I put in the proper name? I can get that from sys.argv0. Woohoo! And then you need to specify input file, output file, major code. Okay, so let me try that. Okay, so I did step 1. And this is step 1 in the modifications. Okay, so step 1 is done. Step 2. Let's try opening the file for output. Now, folks, once you start writing files, you gotta be careful, like really, really careful. Because if you specify the name of a file that has data in it you want to keep, it's going to get blown away. Now, there are ways to prevent that, but we're not learning them today. So please don't blow away your things that you want to preserve. Okay, so step 2 is attempt to open the output file. All right. So if we get here, that means the input file is good. So I think we can just repeat this with open sys.argv2, comma, the letter W. That means open it for writing, not reading. Okay. Now, if I run this, it won't use W for any, it won't use the output file, but it will create it. Let's see if it creates it. So here's a listing of what I've got now. And I'm going to specify output.csv, and I might as well give it, I have to give it the major code. Now look here, there is no instance of output.csv. That file doesn't exist yet. But when I run this, the file does exist. So my line 17, that created a file for output. And what caused it to be created was the little letter W, writing. All right. Now, in order to use CSV to conveniently write a CSV file, we would have to wrap the file output in something, not a reader though. So how about the writer is equal to CSV dot writer, and wrap the output file. Wait a minute. I just did this prepared before class. So let me look, but I'm old and I come up with, I forget things immediately. Oh, not a capital letter. Sorry. Anybody have a question? Stop me. So not a capital letter. Okay. So now I want to process only the lines that match the major code. So let me look again at the data, stu data. And the column for major is headed with the name of simply major. So I want to find out, want to process only the lines. So if row major matches this dot argv3, writer dot write row of the row. Okay. Well, something's wrong. How about write the row, because it's a dictionary, how about the values? Let's try that. That's what I was after. So notice all of the lines end in CSC. Those are the computer science majors. All right, let me allow you to catch up. So what do we got going on here? We're opening a file for input and we're catching an error if we can't open it. We wrap the input in a dict reader. We open a file for output, wrap the output file on my line 18. We're wrapping the output file with a CSV writer. And then for each row in input, if the major code matches, we write it to the output. Does anybody have any questions? Now, one thing here that we haven't handled is let's look at the beginning of the output. So head of the output. Notice something missing that we might want to have. Anybody? What it's missing is the column headings. So maybe we want to replicate the column headings. Let's find out how to do that. So before we start reading all the input, writer dot write row. Yeah, how about this? This might be easy. Give it only the keys. Well, I hope that works. Nope. So how about, I guess I don't know how to do this. I went off script. It's saying that row is referenced before assignment. That's certainly true. So this would work, line 19 would work if it came after reading the row, but I don't want it to print it out every time. So can you think of a way that I could do that? So how about, so we can make a flag. So first line equals true. And then inside the loop, if first line is true, then write the column headings. So there, and is that indented correctly? Yes. And now make sure we don't do it again. So we've done it once. Now we set it to false, the flag, and then it won't happen again. Let's see what we get now. Perfect. So let me just make sure we go over this again, so everybody gets it. So I'm going to using first line as a Boolean flag. It will be true only for the first line of input. And after executing this, set first line to false. So this code will not run again. Does anybody have any questions? Well, I know I know somebody has a question. Please dig down, reach inside yourself and find that question and ask it.
Oh my lord, I have so many questions. Not that
Pick
anyone's
one.
surprised. Oh my lord. Let me try and run this again. Yeah, okay. First things first, it's not printing things out. And I'm looking. Writer. First line equal true for row. Reader. First line.
What is the W in single quotes after 6.argv2?
Okay, so the first argument to open is the file name. Now notice here on line 15, all we did was give it the file name. That means open it for reading. So if we want to open it for writing, you follow the file name with the letter W inside single quotes or double quotes. That says the file is not open for reading, it's now open for writing. Now, folks, be careful with this because the way this is written, if the output file already has contents, that contents will be lost. There are other options to use if you want to append. There's ways to tell if the file exists already so that you don't overwrite it. And we can cover those in other classes, but not today. Okay, Milo, you got one for us?
I'm still trying to see if I can find where it's not correct. Because it's not it's not doing anything. It's not giving me an error. It's not printing anything. It's just happening.
Well, that is the way we wrote it so far. if it works correctly, it doesn't print anything. Here, I'll show you.
What?
It doesn't print anything the way we wrote it. So here, Python, stew data, make sure that you don't overwrite your data. Here's output.csv, and let's look for math majors. Oh, I got a problem in the data. Invalid character in the identifier. Let's put in CSC. Oh, somehow I introduced a bug? Oh, I had the file open before. I bet you I typed something in while it was open. Line 36. Yep, I typed in something while it was open before and I screwed up my own file. Okay, so let's go back here and run this again. All right, so how did I screw this up? It's also on a line that has ACC. So what did I do? So search for ACC. There's the one that I just fixed. There's another one. Does anybody else have this? Did I screw this up on my own? Okay, this is going to be annoying. Somehow I changed it on my own. Is there a way to do a search and replace? No.
It's
There's
like that
only
on mine
search.
too.
What's that?
The stew data has that question mark before ACC on mine too.
Okay. Sorry about that. I can fix the file and re-upload it. So I guess that's why it's not working for anybody. But why did it work the first time? That's weird.
I don't know, because looking in my file, yes, it also has that, but I'm not getting that error.
Okay, well, I'm tired of doing this. I've only done 1/3 of them. That's weird. Hmm. That's certainly weird because it worked the first time. Now I am producing some data output. I mean, it is running if it's just not processing the entire file.
What should the output look like in the output.csv?
It should look like exactly what you see here. It should look like
Okay.
that. So if I replace CSC with math, it'll still crash, but let's look at the output. Okay. All right, never mind then. I don't know why it worked the first time, but I'll fix it in time for the next class. Let's study the code instead of the output. So ask me questions about this code.
Why did you write cat output.csv?
That is what the heck is that? How did this happen? We're doing all these mysterious things. All right, let me reload my page here. Okay, so cat is the name of a Linux program. And it just takes a file name and reads the file and prints its contents. That's all it does. So for example, cat test.csv, it just prints the output. That's like a type command. Type it out.
All right, thank you.
Okay. And yes, I do know why it's called cat, but you haven't asked.
Why is it called cat?
It's short for catenate. Where it was originally used is to say cat test.csv. Let's say another instance. Let's try studata.csv, and it'll just type them all together. So it would be concatenating those files. So it's called cat.
Ah,
And there are similar commands in Linux like head, stu data, and that prints only the first few lines. There's also tail, stu data, and that prints only the last few lines. Cat prints the entire file. So yeah, I'm going to make Linux programmers out of all of you. That's pretty cool. Put that on your resume. It adds a 0 to your salary. Whether it adds a 0 to the end or the beginning, that's who knows. All right, once again, though, let's study this code. Let's write some comments in the code. How's that? So this will open the input file, call it F. What does this line do? Wrap F in a CSV dict reader. This swallows the first line where the column headings are. So open the output file, call it output. The next line, what does it do? See if you can write that comment for me. Anybody? Okay, wrap output in a CSV writer. We already have comments here for first line. Then for each row of input from that's called reader, if you're on the first line, print out the column headings. Otherwise, if you're on the first line or any other line, print out the whole row if the major matches the one we're looking for. How's that? Now, adding these comments, this is what you should do using the capital should, like You know, when your best friend gives you advice that you don't want, they say you should do this, you should do that. Well, I'm saying you should write comments in your code like this. So do as I say, not necessarily as what I do. Anybody have a question? So can you wrap your head around every single one of these lines of code and understand their place and each line's role, why they are important? I want to add one thing. I'm going to say to do, make sure we don't overwrite the output file if it already exists. But we haven't done that, and we're not going to do that today. But we'll do this in the next class. Or maybe you can figure out how to do it. I wonder if there's a Zybooks chapter that covers that. Let's go to here. Come on, show me the book. Show me the book. My library. Let's start by going to the book alone. All right. Let's see. Modules. Files. There we go. And interacting with file systems. And okay, not that. Path. Let me just put in the word exists. Aha. There it is. That's how this is what we're going to use in the next class to figure out if a file already exists. And if it does, maybe we'll ask the user to make sure you really sure you want to do it, or maybe we'll just tell you it already exists. I'm not gonna use it. So that's chapter 12.3. Why don't you folks skim 12.3. It's not assigned yet. Oh, this brings back bad memories. Oh, okay. Let's go back here. Okay. So, anybody? I really want you to get this. You know, we could write a program to fix the stu data file. We could. Or I could just edit it for you and re-upload it.
How much time do we have?
20 minutes.
Is that enough time to fix the stu data?
You want to give it a try? Anybody? I'm looking at your faces. All right, thumbs up or down. Thumbs down means you want to leave. Thumbs up means we're going to write the program. Okay, let's write the program. So I'm going to make a new one called, come on. Oh, there it is, called edit stu dot py. Now let's see. So far, we'll do it down and dirty. We won't have any error checking in it, okay? So import CSV and no error checking. We won't do Python the right way. We'll just launch right into the code. So with open, and I'm not writing it in a, it's down and dirty, so I'm not going to use argv. Do data.csv as f, and then reader equals csv.reader rapid of f, rapid around f, and then for row in the reader. And let's see if we can first find the lines that have the problem. So instead of using a dict reader, I'm using a regular reader, and I want 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want column 8. So if row 8 now equals what though? If it's ACC, it's not going to find it. So I don't think this is going to work, but we're developing this together. So Python edit stu.py. Oh, it was found. Okay. Oh, that's because I fixed some of them, didn't I? Those are the ones that are fixed. I didn't find any of the ones that are broken. So how about we use a string method dot, so that's a string, row sub 8 is a string. I wonder if we go into Zybooks and we can find a string method that searches for the end. Not that one. This one looks promising. See, ends with. Because I know I've got it seems to be all the ACCs, but it's the character that I don't know what the character is. But if it ends with ACC, let's try that. That'll match the right line. So how about ends with, get rid of this. Ends with ACC. I'm going to print the whole thing, row 8. Let's see if that works. All right, now I still don't have any idea what that character, that bad character is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to I'm going to replace what's there with a known good string. And now print the whole row. And I think this is going to remove or make right all the ACC lines. Yep, no strange character here. But I didn't write out the results, did I? So I need to create, well, I want to do this down and dirty. So this is truly down and dirty. So run the program again, use the greater than sign, and give it a new file name, new stew. Okay, and run it. And now I've got a new file called new stew. So cat or head, new stew. There it is. And what I just did is I just massaged the data. That's what that's called, massaging the data. And you're going to have to do this. So instead of editing by hand, possibly millions of lines, I wrote a program to do the edit for me. So let's try ATR again and see if that still works. All right, and it's not there. So Python, my ATR, I don't know what you called it, atr.py, and it's going to be new stew. The output's going to go to output.csv, and I'm going to look for math majors. What did I do wrong? Caught a key error, major. Hey, this is a more complicated program than experience than I thought. Now it's broken. Cool. I wonder if there's any lines that don't. I wonder, maybe there's a blank line at the end of the file? New stew? No, no blank line. Oh, I know what's wrong. Compare the tail of new stew with stew data. See, my program did exactly what it was supposed to do, but it did exactly what I told it, and that includes adding this Python list syntax. That's what I screwed up on. So it added the single quotes, it added the commas and this. Notice the difference. So I think I'm going to leave it to you to fix that. It would be right here. Okay, see if you can figure out what to do. It'd just be at most a few lines. Few meaning 3 at most. There, that's what you need to do. Okay, so that'll be your unofficial homework. So come back on Tuesday with this code finished. Now, what will we do for the AM class? Because the AM class wasn't held today. All right, so I'll put up ATR one last time, and you make sure you've got it all. That's all the hard part. Here's the boilerplate. We have a to-do. Make sure we don't overwrite. That comes from Zybooks 12.3. Okay. So one of the lessons that you can take from my screwing up, there's a few lessons there. One is we all screw up. So even people who've been doing this forever. The second takeaway is that as you build a program incrementally, you'll notice mistakes, especially if you write a little, test a little, write a little, test a little. You don't want to find that you have a mistake after you've written thousands of lines. Okay? All right, it's a beautiful day outside. Go enjoy it. You have some unofficial homework. Chapter 8 is due Tuesday. Chapter 7 was due this week. But as you know, I have a bigger bark than I have bite. So what I mean by that is if your chapters are not done yet, go ahead and do them. And I haven't recorded your grade yet for chapter 6 or 7. So if 6 or 7 is incomplete, go back and do them and you'll get full credit. All right, if nobody has a question, I'll say goodbye. I'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Professor, I had a quick question.
Oh,
All right,
go
I just
ahead,
wanted
Chad.
to tell you, sorry I was late. Two things. Sorry I was late today. My internet still isn't working, so I made like a, what's it called? A hotspot with my phone. I'm using a
Mhm.
hotspot. I don't know what's wrong with my internet. So I was like 5 minutes late. And then I was just curious if you were still planning on looking at my project too.
You mean a regrade?
Yeah, because I uploaded it as a PDF and that's how I do it for accounting. And I was
Oh,
uploading
okay.
at the same time, just
All right, well, hang on with me
so I re-uploaded.
and let me check to see. Well, first I'm going to stop recording because nobody needs to share in this.
Okay.
Recording and stop.